So by now, we know that United succumbed to Arsenal 2-0 in this match. But the way that Arsenal went about it, I think is very, very cringe. The most poignant stat by far is this one. 13 corners to Arsenal to 0 for United. They were spamming and spamming and spamming corners. And to be fair, they got their goals out of it. There were signs from very early on that Arsenal were going to dominate from corners. And it started in the 8th minute. So Declan Rice is going to swing one in. It's going to land on Thomas Partey here. But it actually hits his shoulder and it goes out of bounds. Now, that might look like a regular corner, but let's see what really happened. You can see that the Arsenal players are bunched up here in the back, and they're just going to bum rush all the United players that are standing in the front post there. United, of course, are in a zonal marking system. As you can see, by the time the ball is in the air, all the players have rushed to this front post. And have a look at them. They've got the inside position on the United players, and they're just leaning, pushing them out of the way. Let's have a look at it side by side. So the top image is before the ball comes in. So if we draw this line, extending from the front post, we can see that one player is in front of it, two players kind of in line with it, slightly behind, and the rest are here, and the Arsenal players are bunched up. But as the ball gets played in, you can see that all the Arsenal players have rushed forward, pushing all the United players this way, and now there's 1, 2, 3 players in front of the front post. And you can see this huge gap having formed that Thomas Partey can slip into, and he just happened to miss the header. You can see also, of course, that this Arsenal player is blocking Onana from coming out and claiming the cross, or punching it out at least. This angle gives a good view on Arsenal's dark arts. So let's focus on this pairing here, Rasmus and Kiwior. The ball's going to bypass Bruno and Martinelli, so Rasmus is pretty much the front man, and of course the front man and corners are very important in heading stuff away. As Rasmus jumps, look at his body position. Look at this angle. Rasmus wasn't able to jump straight up because Kiwior is undercutting him. You can see two hands clearly in his back, pushing him out the way, and that's a foul. That has to be a foul. So the ball bypasses Rasmus. If he was able to jump straight up, he might have been able to head it clear or whatever. And it lands in this space that Thomas Partey has created by pushing De Ligt out of the way. The ball lands there, Partey goes there, he's just not able to finish. And here's an example from the 76th minute of them going to the back post. This is after we've already gone 2-0 down. Again, the Arsenal players are bunched up at the back, but this time they're not all going to rush to the front post because the strategy this time is to go to the back post. As the ball's played in, look at the Arsenal players just pinning the United defenders inside, which leaves a 3-on-1 situation back here. These players are stranded because they're not expecting a cross to the back post. That leaves Mikel Merino by himself in the box to get his head on it and heads it this way, but it just misses. But again, the Arsenal players, credit to the coaching staff, pinned the United players in, which gave Merino the free header. Of course, we have to talk about the 2 goals that United conceded, and it's unfortunate because the corners came from United's mistakes. So Mazraoui has the ball there, Garnacho is dropping in to receive the ball. As Garnacho receives it, he's pressured from behind, and he fails to find Bruno there with the pass, and it ends up going to an Arsenal player. They get the ball in field, they're on the attack, and that's where the corner comes from. Again, you can see these fools just lining up at the back, waiting to run inside. Rice swings in the cross. Great ball again, to be fair, to the front post. Takes the slightest nick off Timber, and it goes into the back of the net. But again, this is why I call the tactics cringe. So we've got Bruno here, covering anything that comes short, and then Rasmus at the front post. But look at this. 2 hands in the back, and look how far that Rasmus gets pushed. Rasmus started here, by the way, but look at where he is by the time that the ball lands on Timber's head. 2-handed shove in the back. If that's not a foul, then I don't know what is. And of course, Timber heads it from the position Rasmus would have been in if he wasn't shoved. And it finds the back of the net. Here's another angle of Timber on Rasmus. 2 hands in the back, shoves him out the way. To be fair, a good ball and a good header. And that's how we concede the first goal. And the second goal also came from a United mistake. So Mazraoui and Odegaard are tussling in the corner there. Marcus Rashford comes to help out and actually gets his body in between the ball and the man. He does his best to shield and shield, but he's really got nowhere to go. That he tries to flick the ball up and hoof it out, as players tend to do sometimes. But unfortunately, it just ends up going out of bounds. Now, I'm not saying that Garnacho and Rashford's mistakes are what caused us to concede, because we could have conceded from any of the corners. It's just unfortunate that the 2 goals that we did concede came from mistakes like this. Saka's going to swing the ball here. Again, the Arsenal players are lined up at the back. And keep an eye on especially Saliba here, Kiwior, and Timber. And by the way, look at Saliba's starting position. He's way beyond the far post there, but he ends up scoring the goal. So as the ball gets played in, again, Saliba goes from here all the way in here, 2 hands in the back, shoving Højlund right out the way. Kiwior literally sets a screen, a basketball screen, on this man. Timber over here sets a screen on Mazraoui. Thomas Partey, the assister, hangs in the back, kind of lurks, waiting for the ball to drop in. Of course, Partey, the free man, is able to get his hand on it. And you can see the box that Arsenal was able to create there, where there's no United players in there. It's all Arsenal players. Partey heads it in there, and any touch, it's going to go towards goal. Actually hits Saliba on the Arsenal, and it goes into the back of the net. So these are the XG stats from the game. So just looking at that, it seems like Arsenal well and truly deserved the victory. Which, okay, maybe they did. But if we look at the XG without set pieces, then we can see that Arsenal really didn't create anything either. Now, I'm no way saying that Manchester United deserved to win by any means, but maybe a draw would have been a fairer result if it wasn't for these dark arts, or the cringe tactics, if you will. If you enjoyed the video, guys, please consider subscribing and leave a like. Cheers!